Shout-outs. So this is actually my second favorite section. I love shout-outs because I talk about myself and my project and everything so much. So but subscribe, because we don't just talk about me. And hit the thumbs up so it'll show this to other people. What we do with the shout-outs is we list 3 things that we want to shout out that aren't things that we are personally invested in. Right? So, darling, why don't you start? Do you have a shout-out for Regal Cat there?
I do have a
shout.
I do have a shout-out for Regal Cat. And I have a shout-out for Research Pet and Bird Hospital.
Oh, in Austin, Texas. Research Pet and Bird.
Who are wonderful and take very good care of Regal Cat and Studio Cat. And, yes.
Oh, that's a happy kitty.
They are very nice and very understanding that this little one does not like the vet at all.
It's funny. She is the sweetest cat in the house. And when you get her into the vet, she is hellspawn.
I think that's just a rule of cats.
The weird thing is, Studio Cat, when he is in the house, he's kind of a complainer. I call him Woody Allen. Because he just kind of like walks around just complaining about everything. Yeah. And then you bring him to the vet, and he's just the most polite little gentleman. He's so cute at the vet. He's like, okay.
He like rubs against the vet and the vet techs. And
That's weird.
Yeah.
It's like his brain's wired backwards. When he's afraid, he snuggles. It's the cutest thing.
It's adorable.
It is adorable. So Regal Cat, what other shout outs? Research Pet and Bird.
Research Pet and Bird, Regal Cat. And then after some of the discussion we've had today, I'd like to give a shout out to my mom and dad.
Yes.
For being awesome and raising me to basically question everything and allowing me to question everything and not trying to brainwash me at any point in my life. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
That's right. And I think they subscribed.
Did they?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
You're going to have to call them. You're going to have to walk them through subscribing. We really need to get to the 100 subscribers. So tell somebody. Because, the funny thing is the Jazz Destroyers, I think we're up to 139 or 140.
I think they just subscribed to the Jazz Destroyers. So
I know they subscribed to that. So they need to subscribe to this one, too.
Okay.
But with the 140 on the Jazz Destroyer, I really stopped at 100. I just kind of let it roll now, right? I still talk about it. I still pump it out on Facebook, but most of my time on Facebook is me just shouting from the rooftops about this podcast. And what I love about this podcast is we shout out other projects. It's very collaborative. So, Steven, what are your 3 shout-outs? You're pretty good at these.
Well, I don't have anything local, but there's 3 movies that I've seen this past week that I want to call attention to because they're all music-related. 2 of them are extremely obscure, and one of them everybody has heard of.
Okay.
The big one, obviously, is Doctor Strange. I cannot geek out enough
Put your hand up.
about
We'll put a
this
card
movie.
on the clip. There you go.
Like, I love Doctor Strange so much. It's one of my all-time favorite comic book characters. 10 years ago, if you had asked me if there would ever be a live-action, big-budget Doctor Strange movie with A-caliber actors, I would have bet money against that.
And that was Benedict Cumberbatch?
Yes.
Did I pronounce that right?
You did. You did.
So.
That
should be right.
But the entire cast is just phenomenal. Like, the 4 main leads are some of the best, like, eye actors in the business. These are actors that can give you an entire monologue just with their eyes without saying a word.
Maybe that's why I don't like comic book movies.
Well, that's a whole different discussion.
Yeah.
But Doctor Strange himself, the character, is a huge music buff, so he's constantly tossing out obscure music trivia in the movie as part of the script, which is really fun. And it's such a beautiful adaptation. Like, it is the most visually astounding movie you are going to see this year. It's like if MC Escher dropped acid and then fell into a blacklight painting, that's basically what this movie is.
Now, did you see it in 3D or did you see it in 2D?
The movie has been out for 2 days, and I've seen it 3 times.
Oh, you've got a problem, my friend.
I'm also seeing it again tonight and again tomorrow. So, it's
You're
a real
a maniac.
You
it's
have
a real
way
problem.
too much free time.
But I've seen it twice in 3D, once in 2D. It was really good in both venues, but the 3D is astounding. I'm also biased, though, because here in Austin we have the Alamo Drafthouse, which has amazingly well-calibrated 3D projectors, so the 3D looks great.
And a shout out to Alamo Drafthouse, because Highball is attached to the South Lamar location.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
And they have us there. and they've been great to us.
Yes.
That is the venue where it feels the most like home. So a shout out to Steve and Keith and everybody out there. Yeah, Alamo.
Yeah, it is a great menu. But the other reason Doctor Strange is special for me is that I'm the biggest Marvel obsessive in the world. The MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is my favorite thing ever because I've been lusting for this long-form, interconnected crossover storytelling in cinema, the way comics do, and I'm finally getting it. But we can all hum the John Williams Superman theme or the Star Wars theme or the Indiana Jones theme. Like there's these classic themes in movie history that just drill into your brain. And Marvel has made 14 movies now and have been tragically lacking a single memorable signature theme song for any of their characters. Like nobody can hum for me the Iron Man theme or the Captain America theme or the Thor theme because they don't have one.
I'm just
Doctor
saying,
Strange.
I just want to point this out. I am available to score films. I have done it.
And his music, like this man can pull something amazing out of nothing. It's awesome.
I can write in that context of the orchestral up behind you there, and one of those is my old orchestration book where I learned how to orchestrate.
Nice.
It is tough. I should point out that John Williams is a little bit of a thief. Wagner. It's so much of that.
Well, weren't you
great stuff.
just saying like 5 minutes ago that
know.
everything you played is something someone else has played?
I know. I would like to think that I don't steal ideas that blatantly. That because like Tatooine is like a straight up lift from Rite of Spring. It's almost identical. So I don't know. I have issues with John Williams, but he is one of the greats of all time. I'm just saying, hey, give me Howard Shore.
Howard Shore is amazing.
Howard Shore did Lord of the Rings.
And The Fly, a very underrated score from him.
That's right.
But Doctor Strange has Michael Giacchino
Okay.
as the composer. He's one of the great working composers. He did all the music for Lost,
Okay.
did music for things like Up and The Incredibles, and it's the first truly memorable, riveting Marvel score. Like when Strange first shows up in his full costume and the theme music kicks in, if your hairs aren't standing up, then this is obviously not the movie for you.
Gotcha.
The other two, really obscure movies. One is a New Zealand film called Deathgasm.
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 And
Okay.
That sounds
What
fun.
a way to go.
this
Yeah.
This man chose his own
this
way to
movie
die.
is so metal. Like if you are a metalhead and you haven't seen this movie, you are denying yourself a joy in life. Because the premise is basically that this rock bottom of the barrel metal band in New Zealand accidentally finds this ancient piece of heavy metal music that literally summons a demon who starts ravaging the world, and it's awesome. It's fairly low budget. You can tell this was a movie a bunch of guys shot over 100 weekends. So it has that early Peter Jackson kind of charm to
100
it.
weekends?
I'm not sure if that's literal, but it just
I was
has
gonna say, that's
that.
2 years.
It has that look of a bunch of guys shooting this whenever they could when they weren't at their day jobs. But
Okay.
that gives it a certain charm and a certain awesomeness, and it's just great.
You know what else has that certain charm and awesomeness?
What's that?
Put your left hand up again. Jesse Thunderwake. Jesse
Yes,
Thunderwake
yes, he
took
does.
about 3 years of my life. Though actual production was only, I think, 6 or 12 weeks, but we did a whole daily YouTube series. Nearly killed me. That's why we do these we record once a week here, because I can't record daily anymore.
Yeah, that's ludicrous.
We were maniacs. We had a few of them go viral. All right, so we got that. And then what's the third one?
So the third one is going way back in time to the early 80s. And so my boss recently had a birthday, and he rented the Draft House for his birthday brunch and to show a special movie.
Can I just like follow him around and pick up his pocket change as it falls out of him?
right. And this was a movie it's an animated movie, and it was made in the 80s by an obscure production company, and it's one of those movies that really walks the line between being for kids and being for adults.
Uh-oh.
Like they couldn't quite tell what they wanted their audience to be.
Yeah.
It was a complete bomb at the time, sadly, because I think parents were really put off by it because it is so dark and weird and kind of twisted.
What is it?
But it's called Rock and Rule. And the premise is
that a
that
Don Bluth?
in this post-apocalyptic future,
Kicking that.
the human race has gone extinct. Household pets have evolved into humanoid creatures. So all the characters are future evolutions of cats and dogs and pigs and rats. So the character designs are all really weird for that. And it's about this obscure band that's not finding what they want. And the sort of evil superpower sorcerer guy who's kind of in charge of the world has been looking for this one perfect mystical voice that will allow him to summon a demon. So music summoning demons is like the theme for this. And he sort of accidentally sees her singing in a lounge act, realizes that she's the magic voice he's been looking for. He kidnaps her, and most of the movie is about the band trying to hunt them down and steal back their lead singer. And it's so weird and interesting and different, and I can't believe it got made at all. And the main villain is based on this mashup of Iggy Pop and Mick Jagger.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And it's weird and quirky and twisted and amazing. And the big finale, even though I feel like it brought me to tears. It's just one, like the movies. It took me a long time for the first half of the movie. I'm like, I'm not sure if I like this, and then by the finale, I was like, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So I got to give a shout out to Rock and Roll.
Awesome. Ty, what are your we talk? So this is the first time Ty's been on the show. I've known Ty a long time, but he was asking me about the shout-outs. I'm not sure he understood the parameters of it. What did you have for your shout-outs?
Well, first up, shout outs. I'm going to do this local. Well, I found it local. It's Aldecoa Coffee.
Aldecoa Coffee.
God, they're cost efficient. All right, how much do you normally pay? Do you drink a lot of coffee? Do you use a Keurig?
Nope.
At the stores, generally a 12-pack of the K-Cups costs like $11-12.
Oh,
These are a little bit under $6 for a 12-pack of these. They have coffees from around the world: Costa Rica, Ethiopia, Sumatra, Colombia, and they're just these amazing local coffees that they blow my mind every single time I put one in. And they're good coffee at half the price of everyone else. And now that I've said this, they're going to be vanishing from the store shelves everywhere.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sure we get such a viewership here on these.
So that sounds really cool because my work uses a Keurig machine, and I'm so sick of the flavors they've got. So if I can bring them in.
Yeah, talk them into buying you a couple boxes of it.
Yeah. Someone else will try it, and then all of yours will vanish.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
That's pretty cool. What else you got?
IKEA. I put together a bed from there. Took me 4 hours to take my old bed apart, 45 minutes to put the new one together.
Nice.
That's not bad.
Slept better last night than I had in last 6 months, probably.
It's great. IKEA's great. You have some IKEA stuff, don't you?
No.
See, this desk, this one here, I got that from IKEA. I think it was $15. And when I was shopping at IKEA, I was more concerned about the bottom line than what it looked like. Like, you guys are sitting on IKEA chairs.
They're great.
They are great. Though for folding chairs, they fold backwards, so everybody goes, I don't understand.
Swedish.
This little thing of drawers here, that's IKEA.
Mm-hmm. The coffee table downstairs is IKEA.
Yep, that's right. And we used to have those end tables. Yeah, the
end tables, the table we've currently got our
Yeah,
system
almost
one
all
downstairs.
of
The great thing about
almost all
IKEA furniture is it's really designed for people that move. Because you put it together, you take it apart, put it together, take it apart, put it together. And they've gotten better about being taken apart than they used to. So, yeah, hell yeah. IKEA's great.
IKEA is great. Almost all of our furniture is IKEA.
Yeah.
I think our desks came from a different store, but everything else, IKEA. It's just great price, great product.
There you go. What's your third shout
My
out?
third shout out is to one of my girlfriends,
Okay.
Luna Benton. She's an artist. She does webcomics, and she's got a couple pages. I know the first one for sure, maybe the second one for her new comic, Succubusted.
Suck you busted.
It's not safe for work, so...
But there'll still be a link in the
I
description.
would hope not
And,
with a name like that.
What I'm gonna give you a link to her Tumblr. It has links to all of her other work and all her other blogs. Because online she is Squid Vicious,
Gotcha.
Nice.
and she's great and amazing, and I love her art so much.
Does she know that she's not
Getting a
your only girlfriend?
Yes, because
Legend.
I'm polyamorous, and I have 2 girlfriends that live with me, and they are also dating each other.
That's a fun Friday night.
Yes, it is.
I'm sure it's a little rough every once in a while too.
It does get rough sometimes, but it's all about communication, honesty, and openness.
There you go.
Yep.
So I got my 3 shout-outs. I got to look at the board here. Oh, yes. My first shout-out is to David Tronzo. Now, if you don't know who David Tronzo is, Google. I don't have a good singular link. He's a presence.
Yes.
I studied with him in college. Sam, who was on some of the Freeform Fridays videos, he goes to Berkeley too. And I said, you need to go follow Dave Tronzo around. Just follow him around and just start peppering him with questions. And Sam is kind of a shy kid, and I had to prod him for like he just talked to Tronzo. So I sent a note to Tronzo. I said, hey, thanks for talking to Sam. I think he's great. He's a huge part of the kind of music I make today, why I make it, why I still practice, because let's face it, I'm just always trying to live up to what he would have potentially been able to get me to if we could have figured out how to teach me. It was very frustrating for him, but he's great, and he's a great guitarist, and you should listen to him. My other one is Wachi. I will put a link. It's a new band in Austin from my friend Joanna. And she's got there's a mini grant she's working with. We're going to have a link to in the description as well. It helps programs that help kids be outdoors and active. So if you have an organization that could use a mini grant and you're helping kids get outdoors and active, there will be a link for you. And then my third shout out is to Kenny Dorham's Backyard. Speaking of nonprofits, right?
Yes.
Kenny Dorham's Backyard and Harold, it's just the best. Harold runs Diverse Arts Culture Works, which runs Kenny Dorham's Backyard. And when we shot the videos, we did about 20 minutes after the show, and we just had him kind of talk to the crowd. So we're going to put that up, and he really kind of talks about the mission and how great it is. But I'm also going to put a link up to how to donate. So if anybody's got an extra $5, throw it their way. They could really use the help. They're really trying to keep that East Austin thing. The reason East Austin is gentrifying is because of these great things like Kenny Dorham's Backyard. And we're just trying to keep this one alive before they get pushed out. They had a big fight a couple years ago with the city because somebody wanted to build some condos, and it's a nice little piece of land, blah, blah, blah. But go check that out. And there's a Friends of Kenny Dorham's Backyard Facebook page where they post all the gigs and all the stuff that they're doing. The Jazz Destroyers play there from time to time, but they got all sorts of cool stuff that goes through there. And it's just great. So that's our shout-outs. If you have something you want shouted out, leave a comment in the video, and I will try to shout it out next week. Make sure you've hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, though at this point you're so far in, probably have. All right, what's next?